What's going on, guys? Welcome back. I'm down here in Tijuana beaches again. We're going to be talking about maybe some fun stuff to look out for tomorrow with that CPI inflation report. We're going to try to kind of determine if people are really watching this stuff how they should. And we're also going to give you guys a cool little walk-in tour as well. We're going to be walking around the neighborhood here, kind of highlighting some of the costs and things like that. And then also breaking down what to expect tomorrow from the CPI inflation report. Now, the CPI, guys, is very important because it shows what a basket of consumer goods, things like, anything that you use day to day, guys, food, energy costs, all these various things that we use as human beings to stay alive. That is basically the basket of the inflation aggregated CPI. Now, why is it important? Because we expect tomorrow to get a headline inflation of about 3.4%, guys. And this is crazy because it's almost a full percentage point in the CPI report. That's what's probably coming tomorrow, okay? So what this means is, guys, for people that are watching, what it means is that likely everything from clothing to fertilizer to food in your local grocery markets, gas prices, your oil that you get done at Jiffy Lube, all of this stuff is expected to go up in price based on this CPI report. The Fed is actually baking this in. They are actually going to be telling you guys this in tomorrow's meeting. Or maybe you're watching the meeting and you're just watching the video here as I walk through beautiful Playas de Tijuana, hedging myself with Geo-arbitrage and, basically unaffected by this. The reason, guys, that the CPI report is going to have this headline inflation rate is because it's going to guarantee to people that costs of goods and services is about to rise. And it's not going to rise a little bit. That's what people aren't thinking. They're saying, oh, the gas will go up a little bit, food will go up a little bit. This is actually not the case, guys. This whole percentage point that economists are baking in is actually going to fuel inflation much higher. And we saw this in the last Fed meeting, and we understand the specifics of how this stuff works. We saw Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who's about to leave, by the way. He's actually on his way out. So you guys won't be hearing his name very much longer. And we are going to be experiencing a acceleration. That's what's actually being talked about here through economists around the world, is that not only are we going to get inflation increasing, but the inflation is actually going to be accelerating. And this is very important, guys, because what it means is that we are going to have to either make a lot more money, or we're going to have to accelerate how much money they make if they want to continue to live the current lifestyle that they're already living. That's what, by definition, this CPI report is painting a picture for. If people don't outpace the rate of inflation, they obviously are making less money to keep up with their lifestyle, with their investment, with their investment portfolio. So the only way we're going to be able to escape this is we have to cut costs. Costs have to be cut. And I don't know if you guys saw, there was some headline news today about Disney laying off 1,000 people coming pretty soon. And this is basically pretty huge because it's in their marketing department, which is kind of this other coming of the AI, right? We keep hearing this AI is taking over jobs, but it's actually starting to cause employers to look at their balance sheets and find that some of these people that are on payroll are no longer needed. And marketing is something that Disney is finding they're going to be cutting 1,000 people out of a paycheck. So it's pretty huge, okay? And we've also seen multiple other companies over the last couple months. We've seen layoffs increase. That's why we saw unemployment. That's why we've seen unemployment rising. We've been getting the Fed starting to kind of go back on what they say, saying we don't really know what the unemployment is going to be projecting. We don't really have an idea. They're kind of taking this standoff approach where they're kind of saying, well, this thing in Iran is kind of starting to kind of mess with our projections, and they're trying to go back and clean up the fact that unemployment is rising. We saw this yesterday when we were talking about the Walmart indicator. This is always an indicator that people use. Whoa. This is always an indicator that people use, economists use when they are gauging the health of the economy. Because the last time the Walmart indicator we talked about yesterday flashes this red, it means that unemployment is about to soar up. That's kind of the whole thing behind that video we did yesterday, was that indicator is kind of indicative of a potential unemployment debacle, right? An uptick in unemployment, which obviously if unemployment spikes, and we have inflation, we're going to be moving into a pretty risky macro economy in the United States. And this is going to affect everywhere, guys. This is not just affecting down here where I'm at in Playas de Tijuana. This has already been causing the projections for Mexico GDP to crumble. You guys can look those numbers up. Maybe I can pull them up here on the screen for you. And the cost, right? It goes back to the cost in that CPI report tomorrow. Is this report the headline inflation rate? And the answer is absolutely yes. Stuff is going to accelerate. That is the idea here. It is going to accelerate in inflation. That's going to be kind of the topic that people are going to start to notice. It's not that, oh, we're just going to be having inflation. It's going to kind of moderate. It's prices are going to go up a little bit like eggs did with that little bird flu thing. And, we're going to be back to normal in a few months. The Fed is going to be coming to tell us that inflation is going to be going up. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics are going to be projecting that tomorrow as well. So I'm taking a look here also. Let's just jump over here to this little place. And I don't want to kill you guys with too much fear mongering, but this little place right here is a house. All right. And, off the top of my head, I don't have the exact numbers, but looking at this place is probably anywhere from 800 to 1,200, because I don't know if it's the entire place. It looks like there's another place back there with a little casita, or maybe a completely another apartment. But yeah, this is how I'm hedging this inflation, guys. I'm down here. I'm earning dollars and I'm spending pesos. So it definitely gives me right now a 17 peso to a dollar, but about 5 times my spending power. And, for the local economy here, I'm not doing these people any favors, right? I'm not doing anybody a favor by coming in here with dollars and, spiking up the rate of inflation and this kind of stuff. But I kind of am doing them a favor, guys, because this whole economy down here in Tijuana is mostly influenced by the cross-border business and commerce that happens just 15 minutes away from here. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, the flowing capital of dollars down here isn't good for the economy. It does kind of support the local economy down here. But on the flip side of that, the locals down here, it drives up the prices, which they're kind of enduring the same type stuff that people in the United States are doing. So it's a real interesting scenario that I'm shielded from, but the majority of people, local people down here that are participating in the Mexican economy, they are, they're not shielded from this. So tomorrow we're going to get that report in, guys, and we're going to probably be doing a follow-up video but economists are basically projecting that there's going to be an increase in inflation by almost an entire percentage point, which kind of leads us to the predicament of accelerating inflation, which we can kind of deduce that goods and services are going to rapidly increase based on this war in Iran and fuel prices concerning the macro economy and prices around the world for fuel. And I don't know if I told you guys recently, but if I didn't, I just wanted to let you guys know the gas down here is currently a little bit cheaper than the United States. For diesel fuel, it is actually substantially cheaper. It's almost an entire, it would actually, some places it's an entire $1 cheaper. So if you have a diesel truck or something, you know, I've been seeing a lot of people complain on the internet about the gas prices and the diesel prices, and for good riddance, or for good reason, right? I mean, when you're living in California and you're paying an incredible amount of cost just to survive, you know, if you have $1 million house, you're paying $6,500 a month for the mortgage. How much do you have to spend on food? How much do you have to spend on gas? How much do you have to spend on car payments? I would say even if you're bringing in $10,000 a year, if you own in California, then you're not even really making it that much. I mean, you're not even doing that well. $120,000 a year if you own a property, or you own your car and stuff like that. I mean, all these stuff really adds up. So this is going to kind of compound the inflation problem that's already a massive problem. I mean, the middle class is basically, it's basically already at the breaking point. And I think what we see tomorrow is we see a CPI report that kind of paints a picture for a very economic, sticky situation. So that's what we're looking at here on the channel. We're trying to follow this stuff. We're trying to do geo-arbitrage and, keep our rate of inflation balanced. Because like I said, we are down here. What I'm doing here is I am making dollars and I am spending pesos. So how much do those apartments go right up there? They're probably about, I don't know, I would guess probably 500 US, probably 500 US for those apartments. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the deal here, guys, is how much more can the middleman, how much more can the middle class bear, you know, or people that bought at the peak, you know, in 2022, they're stuck. A lot of cases in some states, they literally cannot even sell their home. You go down to Florida, you go down to, you know, Nevada, not Nevada as much, but Arizona, Florida, Idaho, they're selling these homes at a loss. They're not even getting their money back from what they initially purchased from them. They're selling them at a loss just to get out of the damn thing. And, you know, in a lot of cases, they didn't put a lot of money down, right? They just put like a little bit of money down, and now they're stuck in these homes and they don't know what to do. So they're just kind of just throwing in the towel, you know, they're getting divorced and all these bad things. And basically, you know, they're just giving up, basically. I mean, they're just saying, fuck, I'm just going to scrap the idea of owning this thing. I'm going to lose my down payment, and then I'm going to retreat. So the middle class is retreating, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what we kind of broken down for you in this video. Inflation is about to accelerate. If you guys are interested in anything real estate, let me know. I'm here to help. My goal is to educate and prepare people so they can make the best financial decision for themselves and their families. All right, guys, catch you in the next video. Appreciate you guys watching. You guys got questions, concerns, video ideas, shoot me an email.